Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Chasing Meet Cutes podcast. I'm your host, Nicole.
And I'm your host, Trisha. It's season 2.
Yes, it is. Season 2.
Well, if you listen to our intro, we said there was going to be a couple changes to season 2. This is one of them.
Yep, which we're so excited about.
We're on video.
Yay.
We're going to be on YouTube, so every episode will still be on all the podcast platforms, but also video content on YouTube. So if you're someone like me, like sometimes I go back and forth. Like I'll obviously listen to just the audios all the time in the car or like cooking. But if I'm eating lunch or something, I want to watch Theo Vaughn's expressions.
Right,
I want to listen to Candace Cameron Bure and watch her in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Those are two very vast examples I just used. Theo Vaughn or Candace Cameron.
But that's good.
Yeah.
But I think it's nice too to like put a face with the personalities in the audio.
Yeah.
So
it's nice to meet ya.
Yeah.
But the other new thing we said we were going to do is start each episode with a little icebreaker question just to kind of get some more opinions out there. Just we want to hear feedback from you guys on these questions that we've come up with. And DM us, comment, email, whatever your heart's desire.
Yeah.
But okay, so today's question is an interesting one. It's what's the most iconic romantic gesture in a movie or TV show? Obviously, in your opinion.
Obviously.
Like we're gonna have different ones.
Yeah. I feel like iconic is like tough, but I just think of any romantic comedy, romantic movie, drama, whatever. Like I feel like the most simple things are the most romantic to me. Like I swear, anytime I see someone opening a door for someone else, like a guy opening the door for like the car door or whatever, I'm just like, that just like melts me every time. Just the little things like that.
What were we watching recently? We're like, see, like they were whoever the like main male character was like just opening
the doors.
Like
I don't know, like Nobody Wants This. He did that like constantly.
That's so funny that you said that because my grand gesture is going to be an Adam Brody moment.
Oh, what is it? From
the OC.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I could pick up some grand gestures of his from Nobody Wants This, but we've already talked about it. So just go listen to Nobody Wants This episode if you haven't already, because we talk about it.
We did.
But no, I was thinking of his character Seth Cohen in the OC. He like at this particular part in the show, like he's trying to win back Summer, who he's in love with, and so he's like trying to come up with like the biggest and best grand gesture. Yeah. Now there's like an iconic moment where I don't know if you would say it's really it might be a grand gesture on Summer's part, but he had been trying to like win her affection up in like all these times, and she comes in and he's trying to do something on the roof, I don't know, during a thunderstorm, and he put his Spider-Man mask on because it's raining out. Well, he trips and falls and he's just literally like hanging upside down from like the cable cord or something. I don't know. And she comes over to try to find him, and they have this iconic kiss in the rain when he's upside down, and she like lifts his Spider-Man mask like in the movie Spider-Man. And they have this iconic moment.
Wow.
But he also has one when like he's at school and trying to like profess his love for her in this grand gesture, and he stands up on top of this big like coffee cart or something and just tells the entire school basically like, you know, that he loves them. So, or he loves her. So, I don't know.
Love
Seth
it.
Cohen, Adam Brody, full of grand gestures. I can't think of many other ones that are like iconic off the top of my head. So we need your guys' help. What are those iconic moments?
Yeah.
The grand gestures.
Tell us.
If you will.
We are talking about 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yep. Throwback.
Yes.
It's a bit of a throwback week.
And I've never seen 10 Things I Hate About You.
Surprise.
I know. I feel like that's such a common theme where I haven't seen so many of the things we're watching, which is surprising, but not at the same time.
But partially like why we decided to do this.
Yes.
Because I've seen a lot. I mean, I haven't seen like every movie known to man, but for a season of your life, I feel like you weren't really even like interested in like watching any other things.
100%.
Because like you just had your core things you would just rewatch over and over.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us are like that. But it's fun to like experience new things, especially with all the freaking streaming platforms out there now.
Oh,
There's
I know.
so many movies and shows or like these throwbacks that are just like we have access to.
Yep.
And
I know, it's nice.
Yeah. I will say though, there's been a couple I'm like, dang it, I wish I was at my parents' house to see the old DVD collection.
Oh, yeah, like shelving.
So I can pick some of these out. But yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You is what we're talking about today. First, I just want to say rest in peace
R.I.P.
to Heath Ledger.
Yes.
He was one of the greats of our time. And it's just really a shame that he's not still here with us today.
Do you have a favorite movie of his?
Yes, The Patriot.
Okay.
Okay, I say that's my favorite movie that he happens to be in. He has some great moments in that, of course. But I don't know. I think, what is the one that he's in? A Knight's Tale?
That's my favorite of him.
I love that one.
I love that one. So good.
I was going to say that or Eight Crazy Nights, but I couldn't remember which one was attached to him. But I think it's A Knight's Tale, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eight Crazy Nights.
A lot of nights.
Yeah.
Anyways, he plays Patrick in this movie. And we're going to talk about it.
You want to give us a summary first?
Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Obviously, hopefully you guys have seen this already, but here we go. 10 Things I Hate About You is a 90s classic where Kat Stratford's I don't need a boyfriend vibe totally ruins her sister Bianca's dating plans, thanks to their dad's no dating until Kat does rule. Enter Patrick Verona, the brooding bad boy who's bribed to win Kat over, but surprise, he actually falls for her. Cue the epic rooftop serenade, plenty of snarky comebacks, and a love story that's equal parts sweet and chaotic.
It's a good summary.
Yeah, I think so. So we have Kat and Bianca. They're sisters.
Yep. They're like total opposites.
Yeah.
Like.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But
Classic.
It sounds like Kat wasn't always as like hardened.
Yeah.
Like this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, so I don't know if they didn't really get into too much of like their relationship as sisters, but you can tell they're not like bestie sisters. They're just kind of like, you do your thing, I do my thing. We
just
together.
exist as sisters in the same home.
They have mommy issues because their mom
abandonment
left them.
Issues.
So
for sure.
clearly, in their own ways, they're dealing with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about just like Kat and Bianca and where we see them at the start of the movie.
Where do we see them at the start of the movie?
I guess I didn't really mean like physically, like where in like what scene.
Yeah.
Like in the bedroom.
I just have like
with the candlestick.
I just like wrote down a couple things about Kat that she just like has a whole lot of teenage angst going on.
The definition of
like,
teen.
And her sister is like we said the complete opposite of that, where she's like kind of a daddy's girl, like her dad's favorite for sure. And Kat, she just like kind of wants to go against the grain, like no matter what it is, like even if she maybe doesn't even agree with it, she just does it because she goes against it because someone wants her to do the opposite kind of thing.
Yeah, she makes it very clear that she's not doing something just because somebody wants her to do it,
right? Or she does do something because she knows it'll make her dad upset. Like picking a college across the country kind of thing. Yeah.
Sarah Lawrence, which apparently is real.
I guess
we thought it was maybe made up.
Yeah.
No offense to you, Sarah Lawrence.
Yeah.
Students or
whoever you are, wherever you are.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's where like Kat is so like in her own lane. She's so focused on like getting out of town and going to college that she's not concerned with dating. Yeah. Anymore. Or really, we don't even see her having friends.
No.
Like, she's a lone wolf.
Yeah, and she kind of, like, has this arrogance about her that, like, she's kind of better than everyone. I feel like she gives out that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it's, like, well, because we know, like, what happens later in the movie, I feel like it's an insecurity.
Oh, well, yeah,
like
100%.
That's, like, total rough exterior when, like... It's just because she was hurt before. And she's just protecting herself by building every single wall as tall as possible around her. So
yeah, it turns out she's just misunderstood.
Definitely.
Can relate.
But the whole premise of the movie, like, obviously starts with Bianca wanting to date. She's total girly girl, into boys, specifically.
All the boys are into her.
All the boys are into her, yeah. And can we talk about the weird moment where, like, we kind of talked about this in one of our previous episodes about how just, like, high school was portrayed on screen in the 90s and early 2000s of, like, definite clique vibes. Right? Oh, yeah. And again, I think there are that's real. Like, there are cliques for sure. But, like, the way they're like this lunch table and that lunch table and this lunch table. But at one point when the guys were like, virgin alert.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, who says that? Y'all are dumb.
Although they did say that in Grease 2 as well.
Maybe we'll talk about
Where's
that
my Grease
someday.
2 people?
Are you Grease or Grease 2 vibe? Because
there's only one right answer.
Only Grease 2.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so we see like all the guys into Bianca.
Yeah.
And she's enjoying the attention. But also, like, her reputation precedes herself because all the boys know that she's not allowed to date.
Right.
So she kind of becomes
like a challenge.
she kind of becomes like the one thing that everybody wants but can't have.
Right.
And she's kind of getting tired of that because she, like, actually wants to date and like experience being in a relationship with a guy or just even like casually dating. So the dad basically says that's his one rule. He's like an OB and he delivers babies and he's like totally set on his daughters not like getting 16 and pregnant basically. And so his two rules are like don't get pregnant and don't get pregnant. Those are the only two rules. And so Bianca's just like whining about it one day and he's like, all right, fine, you can date as soon as Kat dates.
Which he knows is like not gonna happen.
Right. Which is the loophole.
Right.
And so Bianca then makes it her mission to try to get Kat to date somebody so that it unlocks her opportunities.
Yeah.
So then we discover Joey.
Oh, Joey. Who is Joey?
I was going to say, I should have looked up, like, his actual name because I just kept calling him Wilson because he played Wilson from Seventh Heaven. But
he's very cute.
He is. I always thought, like, he was a cutie on Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
I had a crush on him because he played Mary's
boyfriend. I was so scarred by Seventh Heaven.
Andrew Keegan.
Okay,
wait. Why? That you can't just say it in passing without an explanation.
Do you remember the episode where the dad like was having a heart attack?
Yes.
Okay, and he like turned all like real pale.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like kid you not, I lost sleep over that because like I would get like anxious, like I was having a heart attack, or I would like convince myself. Like
not about like your dad getting one.
No, me. No, me. So I'm like laying in bed at night. I'm like, I don't know, 12 years old. I don't know.
Yeah, and I would like in the later seasons.
I would be like feeling like, do I have chest pains? And then I'd like wake up, I'd go in the bathroom and look in the mirror and be like, I think I'm turning pale.
Oh my
gosh. And I literally would
think
that. And I'm like, that's not.
Yeah. I also was scarred from a moment from that show as well because the episode where he gets shot by the kid. Like,
I don't remember.
He's like a bad kid.
I don't remember most
in the early seasons.
Yeah.
And this kid that he had been trying to like counsel and work with, like, brings a gun into his office and like shoots him in the like arm or chest or something like that.
Yeah.
So then I got afraid, not that I was going to get shot, but I thought my dad was going to get shot because my dad's also a pastor. And I don't know why, I just like, that was my only point of reference. But anyways, Seventh Heaven, man, crazy. But yes, Wilson. So
Joey. Andrew Keegan is his real name.
Yes, he's a cutie, but he plays like the worst, like and most annoying bad boy character.
I know. He's
like
so full of himself. Oh my word.
And that okay, he drives this like red convertible, which apparently everyone drives a red car.
Everyone in this movie had a red car. Every single person. No joke. Not an exaggeration.
But okay, Joey, we saw him in his car 2 different times, 2 different scenes on 2 different days. It wasn't like one fluid scene. The same song is playing in his car. I'm like, does the dude only have like...
It's like Love Guaranteed where the tape is stuck in her player.
I'm telling you. I can't even remember what song it was, but
I don't either. I have no idea.
Anyway, so he's just a jerk, but he's obviously cute, and he can get whatever girl he wants.
Yeah.
And the girl he happens to want is Bianca. And so it's communicated to him that, like, you know, he obviously knows she can't date. But he finds out that the loophole is she can date if Kat starts dating.
Yeah. It just becomes like everyone's mission to get Kat to date, including Cameron, who we can talk about at some point. But it just becomes everyone's mission to get Kat to date somebody, anybody. Right. They're asking around the entire school, saying like, "Hey, will you date Kat?" And everyone's like, "Over my dead body." Like, no way.
Yeah. Because everybody's fully aware of, like, she's just kind of a bee. Yeah. Like, she just doesn't care. I don't know. She's
super opinionated, but, like, not in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's kind of annoying. Like,
I agree.
I don't know. Even her teacher. The teacher
is funny.
His character was so funny in this. But, yeah, you know, she would just have her opinions, and he'd just get annoyed and be like, "Get out of my class.
Get out. Go to the office."
But eventually Patrick decides to take on the challenge because Joey decides to pay him.
Yeah.
This is the trope. This is the 90s trope. Okay. Yep.
The
bet. It's always a bet.
I know. It's so crazy and so sad.
It really is. And I think I shared this. I don't know what other movie we've talked about before where there was a bet involved. But I was like, I remember being like thinking to myself, like, this is probably going to happen to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whatever guy I don't remember. I might have an interest in or might express interest in me, like, I'm assuming, like, somebody bet him.
Yeah, like or dared them to, like.
Yeah, and it's just going to end up with me being humiliated in some way.
Oof.
Yeah. And, like, our next episode is She's All That, and also has a bet.
Same thing.
And also, both these movies are from 1999. And so maybe that's the key.
They scarred us.
Like, was that happen? We weren't in high school in the 90s. Like, was that a thing? Were these bets happening in real life?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is just horrible if they were. We hope you say no.
Yeah. Anyway, Patrick, you know, he decides to take on the challenge. And at first, that's all it is. Like, he's just trying to crack the code that is Kat.
Yeah.
And he's having a hard time. And he's like the bio said, he's broody himself. Like, he's got his own set of quirks about him.
Yeah. It was so funny too, though, like everybody saying all like the different rumors about him, that he like spent a year in San Quentin. That made me laugh so hard. And I was like, oh my gosh, did he really? And then he later says like, no, none of that stuff was true.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has the classic bad boy vibes. Like, at one point, the two, Cameron and his friend, I don't even know his name, go to like meet up with him. Bernard. What did I think his name was?
Gerard.
Gerard.
I mean, that was close.
Yeah. I should know. Anyways, okay. Yeah, so they like meet up with him at a literal like motorcycle bar. Mm-hmm. Just like a biker bar.
Yeah.
Motorcycle bar.
What was wrong with that?
I think that's wrong. I feel like nobody's saying, do you want to go meet at the motorcycle bar?
Oh, gosh.
That's like, it's like embarrassing. It's like when, okay.
You're making it way more embarrassing than it was.
The comparison I'm thinking of is like, have you ever seen The Sandlot?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
Okay, well, it's like when Smalls is trying to be like cool with the baseball kids, and like they're talking about Babe Ruth, and he has no idea, and he keeps referring to her as a she because they're saying Baby Ruth.
Oh, baby! Oh my gosh!
And anyways, that's like the equivalent of somebody being like, "You want to go to the motorcycle bar?" And they're like, "It's a biker bar." Punch, and they're like exposed for being fake. That's how I'm interpreting. It's all
downhill from here.
Anyways, they meet him up at the biker bar and they're like, okay, this guy's like, he's like a hard dude. Like,
yeah,
he smokes.
He spent a year in San Quentin. I mean, hello.
Yeah, you don't get much more bad.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's just spending a year in San Quentin.
True. Yeah, nobody's doing a year there.
Yeah.
Mostly probably like life sentences.
For sure. Yep.
Okay, anyways, go on with what happens with Patrick and him, because I need to take a sip of this tea.
Okay. So, basically, I don't know. I don't even remember what happens in this biker bar, but he basically wants Kat to go to this party. I forget his name. He wants her to go to this party with him, and she's like, no, I don't want to go. She's kind of just playing hard to get, but like, you can kind of tell there's some, like, a little bit of intrigue there, but not enough for her to be like, yeah, I'm going. Ultimately, though, she does end up going because, what's her name? Bianca also wants to go to this party, but the rule still applies. Her dad, or their dad, is just like, you can only do things that Kat is doing, basically. Right. So, she ultimately decides to go to this party, but she gets super wasted.
Yeah, what happened there? Like, was she just like...
She just grabbing shots off of the trays and just throwing them back. I mean...
Yikes. It was not a good look.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is... I didn't go to high school parties. I don't even know that they had real parties like this in high school. Where
I don't think we were invited.
Yeah.
We did get invited to an ABC, or wait, what was that party where the duct tape party?
A duct tape party? Remember?
Did. Well, okay, I don't know if we were like, there were no invites, but like people were talking about it. Like our mutual friends were talking about it, where like you come in
anything but clothes.
Anything but ABC. Anything but clothes. Yeah.
We obviously didn't go, that. But yeah, those were really popular. Those parties.
Yeah, but I still never attended.
She obviously doesn't really want to be there, and she's kind of looking around, seeing all the antics happening, and is like, "Oh my gosh, these idiots! Like, I'm better than."
Yeah, she kind of has that high and mighty vibe.
Yeah, like, I'm better than all of these losers. Like, look at them fighting, whatever.
Like, she's more mature, more scholarly.
Meanwhile, she's literally throwing back shots one after another. But she gets super, super wasted. And Patrick is kind of like trying to follow her everywhere she's going in this party. And she, of course, is dodging him or denying him, whatever. But then he finds her upstairs dancing on the table.
Yeah.
She's really just letting loose, and she ends up falling off the table and hitting her head.
You know the thought I had during that scene?
What?
And I know everybody... Okay, the other movie that she's in... What's the dancing movie that she's in that all those clips are...
Oh my gosh, those are so funny.
So funny.
The Save the Last
Dance. Okay. I can remember the title. The scenes that are so cringy for doing like the hip hop dancing there, I was like, the scene of her dancing on the table was better. Way better.
100%.
Whatever dance move she had going on in that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, she falls and hits her head, like, and she's really out of it at this point. But Patrick is like right there to pick her up, carry her out, because she's like, I need to go lay down. I need to sit down, whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I want to go to sleep. And he's like, no, sleep's the last thing you need.
Yeah, not when you have a concussion. Yeah, do you want to take it from there?
I think this is where we see, like, not so much a grand gesture, but, like, we see him really taking her under his wing in an opportunity where he could have, like, maybe taken advantage of her.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like, he's being paid to, like, win a date with her, essentially.
Right.
And he's starting to kind of have these little bits and pieces of conversations. And then he's realizing, like, wait, she's actually really cool. Yeah. And she is misunderstood. And there's something deeper here that I, like, gotta find out, like, why are you the way that you are?
Yeah. And why do people have this, like, idea of you?
Right. Yeah. Right. So he just takes care of her. Like, he walks her over to this swing, which we were like, why the swing?
Are you getting on the
ground? You are
concussed, girl.
Literally.
And drunk.
Yeah. And they just kind of have, like, a sweet conversation. And eventually, like, you know, he gives her a ride home. And she goes in to, like, kiss him.
Oh, yeah. Which was actually really funny. Like,
it was.
Just the way they showed it was so funny.
Yeah. Anytime we see these, like, throwback movies, it's kind of, like, endearing how, like, awkward. Like we said in A Cinderella Story, we were like, that's kind of, like, sweet that it's, like, an awkward kiss. Because, like, you're 16. It should be.
Right.
Anyways, she goes in for a kiss, and he's kind of like, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, because she's drunk. And, again, he's not taking advantage of her because he's a decent guy.
Yeah.
She only hears rejection from that.
Totally. Like, he was just trying to be respectful, and she took it, like, I don't know, like the complete wrong way.
So she gets out, and she's obviously mad at him, and he's just kind of like, sorry, I don't, like, why are you, I don't understand why you're so mad.
I was trying to be respectful.
Right.
And not do that.
Mm-hmm. But, and, like, the next day, you know, he asks Cameron and the friend, like, find out, like, is she still mad at me or whatever, because he wouldn't, you know, she wouldn't talk to him. And he said, like, oh, she hates you, like, with the, what was it? It was like a fiery
passion or fiery rage, something
like that. Clearly
she's mad.
She's very upset with him. So he decides to make this grand gesture to be like, hey, I like you.
Yep.
And this is another iconic moment of this movie, which I think is cute, but like we said, like the reality of this moment could be really embarrassing.
Yes.
Where he's singing "Can't Take My Eyes Off You," and he's just like has the whole marching band in the bleachers, and he's just, I love you, baby.
Yeah.
And she's watching him because she's like in soccer practice or something, and she just thinks it's cute because he's being silly. Like he's obviously not like trying to like be like, I'm performing for you, girl.
Like a professional singer or something.
Yeah, he's just being a ham bone. And it works. Yeah,
she totally flips her attitude and is like, oh my gosh, he's a dreamboat.
Yeah. Can we talk about the next scene that I have written down was the detention moment? Because he tells her, I don't know how, I don't remember the course of events that led to the detention conversation.
Oh,
did he get it? He got attention for the whole grand gesture.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, he's like running from the cops they have on campus, I guess, at Hogwarts. The school is Hogwarts.
Before Hogwarts was Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never seen Harry Potter. Okay, I saw the first movie when it came out.
I didn't even
100
see that.
years ago.
Didn't even see that.
Never,
I don't even know if I'm a Gryffindor or whatever I am.
Me neither, but
I'm a child of God.
Amen. The school reminded me of Hogwarts, so that's what I kept calling it. But apparently they have their own police there.
Yeah. So he gets detention from running from the school police.
Yeah.
And she basically says, like, I'm going to get you out early. Like, I got this.
Yeah. Because the person running detention is the soccer coach.
Yeah. So this next part was so wild to us.
I was floored.
She goes in there, walks up to him. He's like, oh, I want to talk about the soccer team. He's like, we can talk about it like later.
Yeah, he keeps like trying to turn around because he hears like some rustling behind him, and it's obviously Patrick like trying to go around the back to the windows.
Right. So what does she do? She just lifts up her shirt.
She just flashes him.
Yep.
I could not, but I truly was like...
And the thing that's crazy is, like, nothing more was made of that.
Nothing.
In the entire movie.
Nothing.
She didn't get in trouble. Nobody said, oh, haha, like, remember yesterday when you flashed Mr. So-and-so?
Yeah.
Nope.
I could not believe that happened. That was...
No.
Was anybody else as floored as we were? Because
also the teachers at the school, maybe they're just little freakers because
oh my gosh, the guidance counselor, she needs some serious help.
She's writing smut, and she's using the students as inspiration.
Yeah, and things they say.
Okay, that first scene when the one kid said something about like his
the bratwurst,
and she's like,
she switches.
You should be so lucky or something. I'm like,
honey,
you should be fired.
You need to be in jail.
Maybe you ought to do a year in San Quentin.
Yeah, see how you like it.
Yeah.
In the men's only prison.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, the teacher's crazy. So he escapes. we see them cut to their little like moment in this paddle boat to nowhere that was going nowhere. They were paddling so hard.
I know, and so fast.
It's so hard and so fast. They weren't going
anywhere. I just also want to know, because they both were like pointing, and how do they end up at a paintball place?
On the water.
Like, what? That was very confusing to me,
Maybe it's like a Washington State thing.
Yeah.
They're surrounded by water and mountains and all the things, so I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, this paintball date happens right after the paddle boat to nowhere. And they just kind of have a cute, fun date. Like, they're both just, like, fun people. Like, they obviously don't take this too seriously as far as, like, Bianca's very much, like, girl next door vibes. Like, you could tell she just wants to be wooed and, like, she wants to go to prom and do all the things.
The, like, traditional things.
They're just kind of, like, they march to the beat of their own drums.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And so they're just, getting paint all over each other, and they have the little scene where they've both fallen into the hay and he kisses her.
Yeah, they share like a very passionate kiss.
In the hay. Hay?
That's what I want.
You could probably get that.
I do not. I'd marry a cowboy.
Well, that could be interesting.
Interessante.
But hay? I'm sorry.
No thanks.
That's uncomfy.
It is.
No, maybe unless there's a blanket on top of the hay bales.
Sure, like a fall festival
in the barn
situation.
Yeah. But no, not when they were in a literal pile of stray hay.
Stray hay.
Like, it wasn't in a bale. It was just like hay.
Yeah. Loose hay. Loose.
Loose is reserved for diarrhea only.
You can't say loose.
Okay, that sounds like loose hay.
It sounds like loose hay because that's what I just said. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, the word loose is like, that's where my brain goes to, like, loose stools. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's...
Let's talk about prom.
Yeah.
Okay. Prom.
Oh, but I do like the moment, like, when they get home from the little date, and they're just, like, sitting on the porch.
Oh, yes.
Just a little chit-chatting. She was like, she said, tell me something true. And he was like, I hate bees, or something like, I think he said that. And she's like, no, tell me something that, like, nobody else knows. And he said that you're sweet. And I was like, oh, see, she is misunderstood. And he's understanding her now.
And it's like, deep down, she really did want to have a connection with somebody. It's only because she was burned by Joey, come to find out. And so she was just jaded about, like, every other guy. But she still wanted to be seen.
Right.
And she wanted to experience love and all the things.
And, like, let her walls down a little bit.
Right.
But, yeah, so he asks her to prom in that moment. And then what does she say? She's like, oh, yeah, what's in it for you? And he just was like, nothing. Like, I want to take you to prom, basically. And then we see the conflict happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when they're at prom, everything's going well. Like, they both clean up nice. He's wearing a tux. She's in a prom dress. And they're dancing and they're kissing. And they're just
having a great time.
Until...
Yeah, and he got that one singer girl to come.
Yeah.
Because there was already a band, which that's another thing. Bands at prom. Live bands at prom.
Bring it back.
Yeah, totally.
We never got that. We got a DJ that didn't even play Disturbia by Rihanna, and we were
begging them to play it.
We were upset.
Yeah, and then we left after like 30 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he gets this girl to come sing this song that, like, I think was playing in the car one of the times they were riding home or something. I don't either. But anyway, this girl comes and sings that song. So, like, she's obviously very, like, taken by that. Like, that's a very sweet gesture. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. No, I was just going to say, Joey kind of comes up and ruins the moment. He kills the vibe, and he's just like, because he's upset that who we haven't talked about, Cameron and Bianca yet, that Bianca basically like ditched him to go to prom with Cameron. And he's like, I paid you to go, you know, go out with her so that I could date Bianca, not for her to blah, blah, blah. She hears that, sees the conversation, and is like, thought there was nothing in it for you.
Yeah.
And she obviously leaves and cuts him off, essentially.
Which, like, is so frustrating, like, because obviously we can see that he genuinely cares about her. Like, I feel like the money wasn't even a thing anymore. Like, it wasn't even on his mind.
No.
As far as getting paid for this.
And we've also seen already a scene of him, like, when he's, like, following her, not in, like, a weird stalkery way, but just, like, trying to kind of, like, see what she's into and where she goes, what she likes.
Right.
He finds her at the library or the bookstore or whatever. He sees her playing guitar in this music shop. And so now it's like, in hindsight, we can gather that he wanted to use this money that he was making from Joey to buy her this guitar, which we see him later like surprise her with. But yeah, I mean, it was sad. He was never, it wasn't like him and Joey were like constantly meeting up and like exchanging information or here's them more money. It's just like that happened like once. And he's like, okay, if I'm doing this, it's like $100 a date. Like, and whatever, they made that deal and that was the end of it. But he genuinely cared about her. It was never, I don't even really think that he looked at it. I think that he just thought, like, if you're going to pay me money, sure. But I think he would have chased her regardless.
I think so.
But she obviously didn't know that and was upset.
Yeah.
Like anyone would be. But we see this next scene of her in the classroom reading her poem.
Yeah, her sonnet or whatever they called it.
And I think that's another iconic moment for this movie. Like, won't read the whole thing, but just like the ending part that's like, I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close, not even a little bit, not even at all. After she's like crying.
Yeah.
And again, we see this is like her walls crumbling, not only to be vulnerable, basically telling him she loves him, but to everybody else, like the teacher who's had his opinions about her, her classmates, like everybody has just judged her based off of her own behaviors, really, but just like, oh wow, she's a real person who has feelings and she's expressing them, and this is like, whoa,
like earth shattering.
Yeah, so she obviously like is kind of embarrassed that she got upset and ultimately just like leaves the classroom.
Yeah. And
that's when we see her go to her car and she sees the guitar.
Finds the guitar that's just sitting in her front seat, and then Patrick is just like right behind her, basically. Meaning he obviously chased after her. Yes. So yeah, she's very like, oh my gosh, this guitar, like it's the one she wanted. And I don't even remember what Patrick said in that moment, but
he just was kind of like, yeah, I had some money from Joey, and I wanted to, I was paid to like date this girl. Turns out, I failed or something like that. I actually fell for her. And they obviously share a kiss, and she's like, you can't just like buy me a guitar every time you like mess up or something. And he's like, well, there's a bass guitar and drums and whatever
eventually
else.
A tambourine.
Yeah,
but they basically just like kiss and make up in that moment.
And we don't get anything after that. It's just kind of like
we do get a rooftop performance on Hogwarts, though.
We do get that.
We do get that.
We do get the Hogwarts performance, yeah. Nothing like the rooftop of Hogwarts to, like, end the movie.
I know.
Yeah, but before we get to the end, which, I mean, we don't have much to say, but I did think Cameron and Bianca's little love story is worth talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Cameron, I wrote this down. Cameron is the textbook definition of if he wanted to, he would.
Yes.
Which is
and he's such a cutie.
Are saying. He's so cute.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I told you this. I always thought he was kind of cute, like in a cute way.
Cute in a cute way.
Yeah, not like cute in a hot way.
Yeah,
he's kind of hot now as an adult man.
Yeah,
but
he was still a little scrawny.
Yeah,
in
he
this
was a
movie.
boy. He was a boy.
Yeah.
He was a boy. But yeah, he is like taken aback by Bianca on his first day of school. Like, who is that? She can do no wrong. I don't care. Like, I don't care what rules are in place. Like, I am going to make a way for me to be around her. Like, I have to be.
Yeah. I think at some points, too, though, he feels like maybe he's not good enough for her.
Definitely. I think the more he gets to know her, he kind of realizes that maybe she's out of his league a little bit. Or I think even his friend told him, like Bernard told him, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I wish we knew his name. I don't remember.
Like, he's basically warning her, like, oh, she can't date. All the other guys like him. No one's ever gotten a date with her.
Plus, you're competing with Joey, at the beginning.
Right. And so he just kind of creates these moments to be around her. Like, he ends up tutoring her in French when he literally doesn't even know French.
Yeah.
He learns enough just to, like,
help
teach
her
with the basics. And so then they also kind of include her in this whole, not the bet part, but just like trying to get her to help find a date for her sister because she also wants to go on a date. And so they kind of form a friendship, I think, like through that, just the little moments of like them going in Kat's room, trying to find like whatever information they can.
Any little thing they can find.
Right. The next thing I have about them was just like, after the party.
Yeah.
Because the party was a big deal for Cameron. I think, because coming to realization.
Bianca kind of like sees who Joey really is and that he's so full of himself and like doesn't care about anybody else. And she kind of gets the ick.
Yeah, because her friend straight up was like, Joey just wanted to get in your pants.
Yeah.
Like, her friend was not her friend.
No.
Gabrielle Union. But yeah, but in all that too, it's like she made a comment, I forget exactly what, to Cameron, but he was like, listen, if you don't like me, just tell me you don't like me. Like, you don't have to string me along or like whatever. He was kind of just hurt by that, I think.
Yeah.
So in the car, he kind of is like having this moment where he's telling her off. Like, I like you. I did this and I wanted to be with you and I learned French just to help you. And as he's basically confessing his feelings for her in a way that's like, I'm hurt because I love you or like you so much. She just immediately goes in for the kiss. Yeah. Because she's realizing,
she's like I'm going to shut you up with my lips.
And also she's like, oh, wait, I actually really like him. Yeah. He's a cutie.
He is cute. He did all these things way sweeter than Joey.
Definitely sweeter. He actually cares about me. He actually knows something about me.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, yeah, they have that sweet kiss in the car and he's totally back on board to continue hanging around her and being with her. And they also go to prom together, which was very cute and sweet. And
then they went sailing.
They went on their sailing date,
which was also cute. They just had like a very normal relationship after that, which I think was nice.
Very much so. Yeah, and then they all get to go see the Hogwarts show at the end. So.
Exactly. I was going to ask you about what you think about the no dating in high school rule.
Ooh.
Because initially I was like, yeah, I agree with that. The no dating in high school.
I certainly don't think that it's a bad rule, and I think it's probably very situational because parents know their kids.
Yeah.
Some parents know their kids. I think to make it be a flat out, like, I don't think it's very cut and dry. I don't think it's a black and white situation because, like, obviously, like, I know people that dated in high school and they're like still married today or they've been married forever, and you're just like, so what if that was a rule for that person?
Right.
I think you can argue like destiny and fate and like would they end up being like, or God's will for their life, like would he have had them be together no matter what? Maybe. But I also think, I don't know, I think certain kids are just more mature and can handle dating and rules around dating. Like I obviously think, like I told you, I was like, I think there would have to be some strict rules.
Oh yeah.
Around it.
At least.
And you then said, well, at that point then like just
say no dating.
Say no dating. But I don't know, because I didn't date in high school, and that wasn't because of a rule. My parents never communicated like a hard rule. They just, we weren't asking to go on a date with anyone. Nobody was asking me to go on a date. So like, it just was a non-issue. But I think I don't know, like I have cousins with kids that are of dating age, or friends that have kids or whatever. It's just like, I think you just have to kind of make the decision based on your kid.
Yeah.
But certainly,
there would definitely have to be some rules,
parameters around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just be like curfew and call it a day.
No.
There's got to be a lot of
communication and
lots of communication and conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think dating in middle school is a hard no.
100%. That's
like
ridiculous.
I remember having friends in high school that were like dating.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I saw my two friends. This boy I went to elementary school with, girl I met in middle school, was really good friends with. They were dating, and I remember I saw them by their locker like kiss one time. I remember being like,
in middle school.
Yeah, they're like, huh?
I remember certain girls
blown. Because, like, we just never saw our friends in that light. And then it's like all of a sudden you're growing up and you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah. I remember some girls in middle school dating.
You dated in middle school, right?
Dated? I, like, kind of had a boyfriend for, like, a second. It was not.
Oh, okay.
Really.
And see, that's the kind of thing that I feel like that's going to happen at school. Like, there's only so much you can do when your kids are at school, and
I never hung out with that person outside of school.
That's what I was gonna say. Most of those middle school relationships live within the walls of the middle school.
Yeah, so, and like we went to a dance together. If we're thinking about the same person,
I think we are.
Okay. Can't like say it out loud.
Obviously. I think I know though, but yeah, I think high school is like a different transition because you're starting to be able to like just have more freedom.
Yeah.
As a teenager, you're driving, or
they're driving,
going
or
to
whatever.
Places with your friends outside of school, maybe. Like, so I don't know. I think there's room for it in an appropriate way.
Yeah, I think if you've like proven yourself as somebody who can make good decisions and
be responsible
and not be like influenced by peer pressure.
Yeah,
I think that's a good indicator.
Yeah,
that you're okay to date.
Yeah, I agree. And so I think there are some people that are like, you shouldn't be dating in college either.
100%.
But you know,
or now as adults, like in our 30s.
Probably there's some people that are like, you've been dating since middle school. You need to take a pause, sweetheart. Like, it's time to give it a rest. And then I'm sure there's people that look at us, they're like, you.
Well, we know
when are you going to start?
We know of someone in particular.
What?
That is like, when are you guys going to start?
Yeah, we do. She gave us a threat.
Yeah, she did.
She did. Over the accounts for us. But anyway.
That was dating. 10 Things I Hate About You.
That was.
And our first episode of season 2
whoop, whoop. First
comes
YouTube
to
video.
a close. First YouTube video. So exciting.
I know.
Yay.
New mics.
New mics.
Guys, hopefully
new lights.
New mics, new lights.
Let's go.
Hopefully you guys can tell the difference.
Yeah. I hope
it
so.
Sounds better for you.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, we know it sounds better.
Yeah.
But that's today's episode, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't know what else I was going to say after that.
Copy that. Yeah. Until next time.
Mm-hmm. Until next time.
We'll see y'all later.
I just want you guys to know before we see you later.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with me right now.
I don't
tonight.
Either.
Yeah, this is out. It needs to be clipped. Anyway.
Say what you're going to say.
I hope you guys don't mind unedited versions of things like this, because we could just be cutting this whole thing out and pasting it together. But there's something about an unedited
Yeah.
version that I'm just like, oh, that they're just real people.
Yeah, you get to see all of our quirks and
Yeah. And I'm sorry about that because all of them are probably going to be me. Just having the quirks.
no.
If we're calling it quirks. I think
I am not quirky, guys.
I wouldn't even describe myself as quirky. I just think I don't even know how to describe myself in that respect. Yikes.
I don't know.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Truly, this is so fun for us, and we're excited about season 2. We have a lot of good movies and shows coming your way.
Yeah,
we're gonna have some bonus episodes here and there on some Fridays, so be on the lookout for that.
Some guest speakers.
Yeah, some guest co-hosts, and we're just really excited. It's going to be a great season.
It is. I'm so excited.
And we need your feedback. Seriously, if there's anything that you think we should tweak or change or add, any specific series or like movies you want us to cover, please tell us, because we want to make stuff that you guys want to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, we have like a master list, but like
we're adding to it like every day pretty much. Just like we see something new and we're writing it down. So, yeah, or if there's something new coming out that you're like, I want to hear about this now, just let us know. We'll watch it and we'll make it a bonus episode. So,
I mean, we're literally sitting here every day, so
truly,
might as well.
We stay home.
Turn the camera on
a lot.
Yeah, we do.
So, anyways, peace out. Thanks for listening.
Thanks again,
Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace out.
Bye.
Oh heavens, help me.
Cheers.